let's move on to the CVs. And hopefully this will be a little easier than that one that we just did. But here's our pool. It'll be up on the screen. And, well, who are you eliminating first on this list?
Take Cameron out.
Yeah.
I like Cameron, but, man, he's getting up there in age, and we have other options.
And, he's been QPR plays him at the beginning of last season and through last season as a CDM. And now, all season this season, he's been playing center back in a
Sounds
back
like he
three.
lost a step.
He didn't lose a step.
Oh, make you think it would still.
I mean, he not between last year and this year, but the difference is they've changed their formation. They're playing a back three, and he's the middle guy in that back three. So he's almost playing the same position, right? That's kind of what a CDM ends up doing a lot of the times, playing between the two center backs as almost a sweeper sometimes. So, natural for him. I put him on the list because I track what he does every week anyhow, because he's on my Yanks Abroad list. He plays every game, 90 minutes. He's been healthy for a little while now. He had some problems a while back, but been healthy for a good stretch now. So I put him on the list, but good pick. I'm not going to disagree. My guy that I'm going to take out of this for now is Miles Robinson.
Okay.
He's a great young player, but he's still got a ways to go. I don't think he's quite ready for our top five in this list.
Sure. Can't disagree with that.
Okay. What's your pick?
You
got to eliminate 6 here, by the way.
Oh. Let's see. Who am I missing then? I know who I'm missing. Okay. Let me write his name down real quick, just so I know which one. I will take Ream out next.
Yeah, another same reason as Jeff Cameron.
Pretty much.
He's old.
Yeah.
He's old. And guess what? He doesn't play at all. At all for Fulham. He played a cup game so far this year. That's it. This guy, if he were playing regularly for Fulham, even though they're at the bottom of the table, I might say, leave him in because he's versatile. But I don't think we really need his versatility anymore. Greg likes to talk about his leadership, but, we got to move on. We can't just have guys in there for leadership if we're doing a top 5 list.
Yep.
So Tim Ream's out. My next out is, this is not going to be popular, Mark McKenzie.
Okay.
Yep. I'm taking him out because he's at Genk, and I know he just got there. He's had a really rough time at Genk so far. He's had some really crappy games, and now he's not starting again after another crummy game. I know it's going to take him time to adapt, so I'm not counting him out for the future. But as far as our top 5 right now, I got to take him out.
Be interesting to see who we swap in that position. McKenzie was my 5th.
Okay.
So, okay. I guess it's up to me now.
So, do you want me to unscratch McKenzie and leave him?
No. This is the whole point. No. You pick yours and I pick mine. We go from there.
All right.
Okay. You're gonna have to help me pronounce with this pronunciation because there's no way I'm going to pronounce this properly.
Pieri.
Pieri. Okay. Actually, I was going to pronounce it properly. I'm taking him out because 1, he hasn't played for us, and 2, he hasn't expressed any interest to play for us yet.
Yes, he has actually. This is really cool. I just
looked at that.
Yeah, it was really recently. He did an interview with tactical manager Filippo, and he didn't say, I'm really digging playing, want to play for you guys. What he did say is, I would not ever count it out.
Well,
he said, I would be honored to play for the United States or Holland. And so I don't think we can take him out yet. But you're right. He's never played for us.
I stand firm on that then. The non-ruling out obviously leaves the doors open. And he's not saying like, well, I'll fall back on them if I can't get called up from Holland. But I'm still taking him out. Because if it's a top 5 call in the games tomorrow, then we can't count on him. That's my take.
No, you're right, but I do think he is sensing more and more. Or why else do you take an interview with a YouTuber who covers U.S. soccer? if you're Keith Pierre, unless you're thinking very strongly about it. I'm going along with you being eliminated.
It could also, I mean, I'm not saying this would actually be the case, quite frankly, but it could also just be to put out the rumor there that might, light a fire under, Holland.
Holland
say, hey,
do not need this guy.
I'm not saying they do need him. I'm just saying that might be the thought process.
I'm
not saying that is a thought process.
I think he's starting to realize that even though he's been the captain of all the youth teams he's been a part of for Holland, that they're loaded at that position. And he's not a youngster anymore. I mean, he's young relative to Virgil van Dijk, but he is a young kid still, but he's not a kid. And so he is at 20 right now. He's starting every game at center back. He's playing really well for 20. But is that good enough? Because he couldn't crack the roster, the 18 or the roster for Ajax. Ended up playing for Ajax 2 a lot of last season before being loaned out to 20. So is he ready yet? I think he's still too young to say, but is he too young to be being loaned out? I mean, if he was really that good, as we saw with Dest, wouldn't he have played for Ajax? Probably. At least made the bench, wouldn't you think? Or the roster. So I'm going to cross him out for now. I'm with you. All right.
Okay.
So let's go to my next cross-off, and that's going to be Eric Palmer-Brown.
Okay.
All right. Eric Palmer-Brown, who's currently injured for Austria Wien. He's great. He's a good player. He's a good, sturdy player. Again, another young guy. But, that team hasn't performed very well, and he's done pretty good. He plays every single game when he's healthy. But that's not enough to cut it for me. He needs to be exceptional if he's playing in Austria, which is a step down from the Dutch league, in my opinion. So that's my reason.
Okay. I don't disagree. I had him off my list as well.
And that leaves us 5.
Well, to an extent.
So why don't we go?
I was just saying, okay, sorry, you're 5 of my 5. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're down to 5. And so now we got to rate these 5. And I don't think there's any question, but John Brooks is number 1.
Number 1.
All right, who'd you have as 2?
I had Richards.
Me too. All right.
Yeah. His performance with Hoffenheim has been impressive of late, and he's playing at a higher level than Miazga.
I agree, and Miazga's had some ups and downs at Anderlecht.
Less of a hothead, too.
He is less of a hothead, but I do think down the road we're going to need a little hotheadism.
I'm a big fan of Miazga. I'm just saying, I still rate Richards higher.
You remember when Clint Dempsey threw the red card back at the referee?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a little Dempsey in him. There's definitely a little bit there. But I think sometimes his arrogance and his anger come out off as being a little douchey, whereas Dempsey's
I don't care. That's not my concern.
Dempsey's came off as more gritty, gritty fighter, gritty kind of guy. And so anyhow, I agree.
The attitude, the bit of swagger. I'm fine with it being considered douchey. I've heard that comment about Miazga, in all honesty, quite frankly.
Yeah.
He gets under the skins of the attacking opposition. He may make some bonehead plays and pick up some cards that aren't warranted, but
dude, he got fined.
No, there are other things. Yes, I'm not.
And he got grabbed for grabbing another player's man marbles during a game. That's just not right. You can't do that. You got to leave the plums alone. That's where I draw the line. But I still have him as number 3.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now it comes down to Aaron Long and CCV.
Well, for you,
yeah.
Again, I have Long as 4.
Okay, so did I.
And then I have McKenzie as 5.
Okay, I had CCV as 5 right now. Now, if Mark McKenzie starts playing regularly for Genk and starts playing well, I'll put him up there. But one guy who is playing regularly, since he's gotten healthy and playing well, and he's not he's never going to, I don't think he'll ever start a game in a meaningful game for Greg Berhalter because he simply doesn't have the feet. He can't pass. But you could say the same thing about Aaron Long. He can't pass either. He can't play through the lines. He's just a guy who will kick it to John Brooks, who will play it through the lines, which is fine. But Long's just a better defender than Cameron Carter-Vickers, in my opinion, although he had a crappy season last year. But you know what? Cameron Carter-Vickers is my number 5, but I'd never play him either. Because
we have to take into consideration not only their club performances, but how they perform with the U.S. squad as well. Long has done well as had some. He's had some questionable plays, but he's done well overall. McKenzie, in his few games he's played with the United States, he's done well. Mixed with that with his performance with Union before moving to Ghent, I mean, it's just that's the only reason why I picked him over CCV.
I think my thing for McKenzie is just I need a little more right now. And since we were doing the current power rankings for right now, I think he's on the verge for me, but I need more out of him. And I think he jumps Cameron Carter-Vickers and Aaron Long possibly quickly, because one thing Mark McKenzie can do, he's good with his feet, and he's good with both feet. So I just need him to gain some confidence and some maturity. And then I think he'll be moving it up. So, all right. So that's CB's